Please turn your mics on. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the prayer. Grant us, O Lord, light to our understanding, prudence in our investigating, foresight in our planning, sincerity in our deliberating, the grace to follow truth in our judgment. Help us to be moved in our decision, neither by fear nor by self-interest, and to do our work faithfully. May we respect the authority vested in us, for thou art the source of all authority, and may we use it in our directives for the common good, for thy honor and glory. Amen.
Amen.
Please silence all cell phones. It is 6:31. Call to order. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Here.
Mr. Conrad,
Here.
Mrs. Mara,
Here.
Dr. Sharma,
Present.
Mr. Thompson.
Okay, thank you. Okay, public comments. Anyone, any public comments? Questions? Okay, good and welfare. Couple things I'd like to announce. First of all, if anyone notices, we have a new beach gate. It is everyone that has the keys for it. The same key will fit, so you don't need a new key. And also, if anyone needs a key, the request form is on the website under recreation. So if you need a key, you can use that. Like I said, request that key online, and then you just drop it off in the mailbox to the left of the front door at the village. It's a little black mailbox. We also had a new split rail fence installed. It was installed in front of the village hall and also parcel A there. So that was installed and that looks very nice. Another thing we were able to do, another thing I want to just, the Easter egg hunt, Village Hub Club did a great job putting that together. It was a great turnout. The weather wasn't so good, but they made it anyway. So we want to thank them for that. And then we have a 75th anniversary coming up this year. We're gonna have a fireworks display. Ron Mona.
They think they're in their last
Well, they have
push for money.
They're 95% there. So in collecting the money for that, we were taking donations. So if anyone would like to help donate, but pretty much we like to, celebrate our 75th and pretty much be something that, like I said, to help out. And also we like to clean up the village at this point. So anyway, that's all I have at this point. Moving on, the regular meeting of the deposition of the minutes, regular council meeting of March 15th, 2022. Any questions or comments? Okay, do I have a motion to approve, please?
I make a motion to approve.
Nancy Mara makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Dr. Sharma seconds. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to legislation. Resolution 2022-07, third reading. This is a resolution declaring surplus property and directing the fiscal officer and authorizing all actions necessary to affect the sale and or credit value of the same and declare an emergency. Do we have this inventory put together yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. So do I have a motion then to table this, please?
I make a motion to table.
Dr. Sharma makes a motion to table.
Second.
Okay, Ryan, I read seconds.
Like those plants? No. kidding.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara.
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Resolution 2022-15. A resolution directing the Lake County Board of Elections to place a 4.2 mil 5-year renewal tax levy for the police department, service department, and general fund current expenditures within the village on November 8th, 2022 general election ballot and declare an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
I'll make a motion.
Nancy Mara makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Go ahead, please.
I'll second it.
Cindy Hardwick seconds. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, do I have a motion to approve resolution 2022-15, please?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, we'll discuss it after this,
Discussion after,
after the second.
Okay.
Do I have a motion, please?
I make a motion.
Nancy Meyer makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Dr. Sharma seconds. Okay, Mr. Conrad? Questions?
Yeah, which one are we on? 16 now?
15.
15.
Okay, yeah, 15. Didn't we do that last meeting, 2022?
No, what-
10?
The first resolution requested the certification from the auditor for the amount to be raised. And then this one, we'll place it on the ballot in November.
To combine it.
Thank you.
Okay, and Mr. Rassus, can you explain this?
This resolution is the second resolution for our 4.2 mil renewal levy. The first resolution requested the amount to be raised by the levy, which will be approximately $34,110. And so this resolution 22-15 will direct the Board of Elections to place this on the November 8th, 2022 general ballot. And again, it's a renewal levy.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next, resolution 2022-16, resolution approving the language to be placed upon the beach gate sign in the village of Timberlake, Ohio, declaring an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
I'll make a motion.
Nancy Meyer makes a motion. So I have a second.
I second it.
Dr. Sharma seconds. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. And do I have a motion to approve resolution 2022-16, please?
I make a motion to approve the resolution.
Dr. Sharma makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Nancy Mara seconds. Okay, discussion on this. Everyone is able to review the sign, the language. Okay, any questions on it? Changes, comments? Looks good as is. Okay, it's gonna be under $100, by the way, for that sign, metal sign, so it'll be aluminum, so it won't rust. Okay, roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Okay. Next, resolution 2022-17, a resolution appointing council member as president pro temp of the council for the village of Timberlake and declaring an emergency. Do I have any nominations for president pro temp, please?
I nominate Cindy Hardwick as our new pro temp. I know Dr. Sharma was temporary, correct? Before? Yeah, Cindy Hardwick.
Okay, any other nominations? Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
Kevin Thompson seconds. And any other discussion on it? Okay, roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Deserved.
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to
We
make sure.
suspended the rules, correct? Yes. Okay,
So now you're gonna do passage?
Right. So that was to suspend the
Suspend the
rules,
rules.
correct?
Okay, I'm
So
sorry, I
now-
was over here and I wasn't listening.
resolution designating and appointing council member Cindy Hardwick as president pro temp of the village of the council of the village of Timberlake, declaring an emergency. Do I have a motion to approve, please?
I make a motion.
Dr. Sharma makes a motion. Do I have a second? Nancy Mara seconds. Nancy?
Oh, I second, yes.
Who was the first?
Dr.
Dr.
Sharma.
Sharma.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Okay, thank you. Next, resolution authorizing, resolution 2022-18, a resolution authorizing the mayor to hire Nakia D. Ward as part-time patrolman for the police department and declaring an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
I'll make a motion.
Nancy Meyer makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Kevin Thompson seconds. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2022-18, please?
I make a motion.
Dr. Sharma makes a motion.
Second that motion.
Kevin. Ryan Conrad seconds. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, resolution 2022-19, resolution authorizing the mayor to hire Ronald Robinson as a part-time special patrolman for the police department and declaring an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
I'll make a motion to suspend rules.
Nancy Meyer makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Cindy Harwood seconds. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Do I have a resolution? Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2022-19, please?
Make a motion.
Nancy Meyer makes a motion. Dr. Sharma seconds. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Thank you. Next, resolution 2022-20, resolution authorizing the mayor to promote and confirm certain police officers for the police department and declaring an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
Second that.
Okay, roll call, please. Kevin Thompson makes a motion. Ryan Conrad seconds. Do I have a roll call, please?
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, do I have a motion to approve resolution 2022-20, please?
I make a motion.
Nancy Meyer makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Dr. Sharma seconds, and the officers are, let's see here. We're going to promote patrolman John Kleinheinz to paid patrolman, and we're going to confirm patrolman Matt Gores, who was hired on March 18, 2021. Again, that's resolution 2022-20.
So it's 6 months is up, in other words.
Yes.
Yes,
this
his
is
probationary period is up.
correct.
Okay.
For Matt Gores.
Okay.
Okay, roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Okay, thank you. Next, resolution 2022-21, resolution authorizing the mayor to hire Fred Swanson as part-time special patrolman for the police department and declaring an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please? Kevin Thompson makes a motion.
I second it.
Dr. Sharma seconds. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2022-21, please?
I'll make a motion.
Ryan Conrad makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Dr. Sharma seconds. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Thank you. Next is resolution 2022-22. A resolution authorizing the mayor to solicit bids for the replacement of HVAC units with pure air purifiers for the village hall in the village of Timberlake and declaring an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
I make a motion.
Nancy Meyer makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Cindy Harwood seconds. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. And do I have a motion to approve resolution 2022-22, please?
I make a motion.
And Samara makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Dr. Sharma seconds. Discussion, questions?
Would you be overseeing the project?
Yes,
Good.
absolutely. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Thank you. Resolution 2022-23, resolution authorizing the mayor to solicit bids for the paving of the grass island outside the village hall in the village of Timberlake, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
I make a motion to suspend the rules.
Dr. Sharma makes a motion. Do I have a second, please?
Second that motion.
Brian Comrade seconds. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2022-23, please?
I make a motion.
Nancy Mara makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Dr. Sharma seconds. You were all emailed the sketches and approximate quotes. We do not have quotes for this year. That was still from last year, a year ago, so it'd be about, probably in the neighborhood of about 4,000, but to pave that area, but that would gain us 10 parking spots for the village hall, parcel lane, park and so forth,
10,
especially like 10.
Oh, good.
10 more.
10 more. So we'll have to move the mailbox, so we can just move them over to the next tree lawn, but it shouldn't be a problem. So any other questions or?
Has parking been an issue for you? Cindy?
It's on the sign.
Yes, the police department.
Block the driveway.
Yeah.
That would be just normal because again, there's no reason, because it's only for the building here, the handicap for the building. At the moment, no, but we'll see if there's some areas we can squeeze them in, probably some wider spots, maybe one handicap.
Is there some requirements or something?
Yeah, you probably, if you end up with that, you're probably going to want to move it closer to the sidewalk and leave the new spots as just regular spots, because you want to make the handicap spots as close as possible to the entrance. And so maybe one on either side of the sidewalk that can be used for that purpose. That's all they can be used for. So so definitely that would be something, we'll talk to the contractor
Yeah,
about that.
see what it takes.
That'll be the
Restriping.
striping, yeah, when we're ready to stripe it, we'll make sure we.
Just be nice for people on beach access. Being able to get there easily with a wheelchair or something
Yeah.
closer to that point, but
Good point, okay. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Thank you. Next, resolution 2022-24, resolution authorizing the mayor to solicit bids through CT Consultants for the repair or replacement of catch basins and manhole castings throughout the village of Timberlake and declare an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please? Kevin Thompson makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second that motion.
Brian Conrad seconds. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2022-24, please?
Make a motion to approve.
Brian Conrad makes a motion.
Second.
Kevin Thompson seconds. Mr. Malika, can you come up and
Give us a summation.
give us a summation what we're going to be doing there?
Sure that mic's turned up.
So basically, there's a list about, correct me if I'm wrong, 4 or 5 catch basins that we want to adjust to grade or reconstruct to grade because the brickwork is is failing and also install new castings.
Right.
So we'll be doing that along with some pavement not improvements, but just pavement restoration around, because may have to dig out around the edges of the casting, whatever we have to tear out to adjust them to grade. So we'll be getting some quotes from, the mayor has sent me a list of a lot of qualified contractors, and we'll send a request out, and it's not going to be like a formal bid process, but we'll just send that request out. We'll get the quotes, and we'll get them in and see what we're doing, just like the asphalt work.
And you just send a little spec on it.
Yeah, I'll have a little spec or some details on them as well. That's no problem.
What's a manhole casting?
It's those round grates that you see in the street. The round, about 2 foot diameter.
Just a manhole cover, right?
Yeah, I know.
Cover, yeah, it's
Yeah. So are we replacing the covers?
well, it's not necessarily the covers, but we're more talking about catch basins than manholes. I think there was one manhole that you had a concern about, Mayor, but the manholes are access points to our sewer systems, sanitary and storm. They start off at 2 foot diameter, and then they widen out to they're usually 4 foot diameter pipes that go down to the where the sewer is. The catch basins, obviously, those are in our along the edges of the pavement or in the swales that we have throughout the village. So
And those, we have some broken castings. that need to be
some,
replaced.
broken
So,
castings, maybe just replace them.
part of the brickwork needs to be fixed. They're collapsing in, so
Yeah.
they'll need some work. And even Ryan went around, pointed out the water's coming in from the side of the catch basins, not over the top like it should. So those all have to be patched up.
Typically, we'll end up getting prices. I'm just going to estimate $300 to $500 per casting repair to do the brickwork, and then usually the metal work, replacing the casting. We usually get prices by the pound for that, and a typical catch basin casting is what, 80, 90, 100 pounds, and it's usually about a buck a pound. So manholes are more like 350 pounds, or manhole castings, but I don't know if we have any of those to replace. It's more the catch basins.
No, those are just adjusted grade.
Yeah. And one other thing, with as far as the ADA parking spots, there are requirements of how many spots we have to have per how many, and it's minimal. I think it's 2, but I will double check and give you a call in the morning and let you know.
Okay, we'll just, when we get done, we'll run the sketch through your traffic guy,
Great.
traffic engineer.
Awesome.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone have any questions on that? Okay, roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Okay, thank you. Next ordinance, 5-2022, first reading, an ordinance addressing the provisions of amendment substitute HB 172 concerning the right of municipalities to retain the regulations and prohibitions on the discharge, ignition, and exploding of fireworks that existed prior to the enactment of amended substitute HB 172 and declaring an emergency. So,
Just so that you know, this is the opt-out ordinance. We already had an ordinance in Timberlake to take care of fireworks. And when the state changed with House Bill 172, it put all communities in a position of having to either take no action, which meant that you accepted the provisions of House Bill 172, or to opt out. And it was a strong recommendation of the fire chief in East Lake, as well as the police chief and the mayor, that we opt out. So this ordinance that's on first reading tonight is that very ordinance that would allow us to opt out of the House Bill 172 rules and keep everything under our local ordinance.
okay, thank you. Next, I need a motion to allow council members to appear via Zoom or similar virtual platform and to be counted as present and participate as if they are present as permitted by substitute House Bill 51 of the 34th General Assembly. This authorization expires on July 1st, 2022. I have a motion, please.
I make a motion to.
Dr. Sharma makes a motion to accept. Do I have a second?
I second.
And Tamara seconds. Discussion.
Again, this just allows if you wanted to appear by Zoom, if for some reason you couldn't attend, that's really important right now. We're down to 5 members. In order to have a quorum, in order to be able to suspend rules and take certain types of votes, it's important to have all hands on deck. So this only goes through the end of June, but there is some expectation that the legislature will extend this. But we have to take action in the minutes that says that we will allow a council person to appear by Zoom electronically and count them as present, take their information as far as any discussion and their votes to count as if they were present.
Is that mandated by that House Bill 51? And once
It's not
that,
mandated. You could choose to not adopt this motion, and then it would stay according to the Ohio Revised Code, which is that you have to be present to be counted. But they give you the option, and what we've been doing in all the communities that I represent is simply taking a motion from council that they will allow members to appear that way.
and that bill expires at July. So our hands are tied, like we can't extend that ourselves if we
Nope.
decide that that's.
It only helps us for May and June.
unless
We
they-
don't have a meeting in July, so we'll be fine for July. It's just,
Gotcha.
when we get into the fall, but hopefully they'll address this again. Mr. Roskis, do you know has there been anything new on that?
I haven't seen.
I haven't
anything.
seen anything that they've taken that up. They've been doing a lot of other stuff, so.
I have a quick question on that.
Mhm.
So do they have to be in Ohio or can that?
No, there's no stipulation that you have to be in Ohio at the time.
Yeah, I just
So
wondered.
if you decide to go to the Bahamas, and call in from the Bahamas, that would be just fine. So
Yeah.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Okay. Well, legislation, now moving on to reports. Mayor's report, couple things, we're gonna have street sweeping. I got notification May 3rd and 4th, and also July 7th and 8th. They also asked if there were any other special days that we would like our streets swept, and I told them that we are having our family days on August 7th, which is gonna be our parade and also our 75th anniversary celebration. So I asked them possibly if they can do it beforehand, so hopefully we will, but I am asking all residents for this year to up their property, our 75th, the parade. Cleaned up and really something to be proud of. I mean, 75 years is we're at, all together, we're still a small village. Cities. And, something to be proud of. And again, I'm very proud of it. We've got the best location, I believe, on the North Coast. So, again, just asking everyone to help clean up in there. And speaking of cleanup, this year, we have all the ordinances updated. I put all the pertinent ordinances on our website, so there's no misunderstanding, but a lot of them are going to be for, there are a lot of issues with parking. I don't know if people noticed, I mean, we've had a very, very wet spring, and we have a lot of people driving on the medians and making a lot of ruts. There's ruts everywhere, and contractors working, they're making worse ruts, and no one's cleaning them up. We have our service department out there, but we just can't keep up. And plus with the weather, that's another problem. So we're gonna ask people to, help out with the ruts. If there's a rut in front of your yard or in an island in front of your property, if you can help out with that, it'd be great. If you can help tell people, do not park on the streets. There is no parking in the village. I know we have a lot of deliveries going on and people get impatient. They don't want to wait behind the delivery or even the mailman, and they drive around and make a rut inside the medians. You know, all this, we have to fix ourselves, department, and then again, it tears up our lawnmowers when we miss the ruts, and then we just had to have it. It actually broke last year. I want to thank Jim Summers. He actually took the lawnmower and re-welded it. The frame broke on it because again, just hitting all these ruts in the summertime when we hit them, basically they're soft in the spring, but in the summertime they're hard, and then over them, like I said, it's like hitting concrete. So again, there's a parking issue. Again, there's no parking anywhere, and again, we like to keep off the grass, so if possible. There are trailer and RV. Now we do have the ordinances online, so there's no mistake. And again, we're going to be going out. We'd like to keep that cleaned up for this year. And then also, any questions about parcel A or the beach gate, those ordinances updated are also on the website. And also the updated zoning fees. If there's anyone who has any improvements, they need a permit, just contact Gary Gray. His number's on the website. All the information of the zoning fees are on the website also. That's all I have for now. So, Mr. O'Leary.
I have nothing new to report this evening.
Okay, thank you. And council members, Cynthia Hardwick.
I'd like to thank you all for your vote of confidence.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
In my hall, it's really getting booked up. It's, people are realizing that this is a great value and appreciate that we allow them to do that. I have a lot of out of Timberlake people calling, wanting to rent as well, because they, want to look for a place that's not expensive and nice, and everybody knows what's outside the windows. So, I have to tell them, sorry, there are some houses for sale. Come on in. So,
She became a realtor on
yeah, but I take a small percentage. So, so I'm happy with what's going on with the hall.
Okay, thank you. Ryan Conrad.
The hall looks great, by the way. Doing a great job. You didn't know you'd be a party planner too on council, right?
Yeah, it's true. True. But I'd like to really thank my cohort that comes and cleans for us. Steve Carrasco with the service department. He really does a good job, make sure everything looks spick and span. He's a good helper. I like that.
Yeah, so you mentioned the ruts and the sewers, or the ruts. The other thing about the ruts that I noticed when I went out surveying all the sewers is when that rut occurs, it diverts the water away. So that's another water to those sewers and catch basins. So just another reason to keep the ground level and grade. I did send the mayor and council some pictures of some areas. That's where the replacement of sewer grates and the catch basin work is coming from, plus the list that was already started. So it's good to see that we're making progress there and trying to take care of some long overdue problems. We kind of take small bites out of it and handle the emergency stuff now. Hopefully we get to a point where we can start doing more preventative systems. Other than that, I did get a complaint about trailers, RVs, and boats. And I was quite surprised that it's in the backyard of my house. Right, so it follows the ordinance to a T, right? In the front thing, the RV's 24 feet. Limit the boats
Someone
back
did
there.
their, someone did. their homework.
And it's almost
They
like
did.
they did the homework,
did.
right? You
They
can't
did.
necessarily see it from the street unless you're in yards around it. So nothing out of the ordinance that we could mention. And I think I had things And the resident. It's the binder in there. That was a,
My pleasure.
yeah, it really was a big help. Because you look at all these places, and I know when I wasn't on council, I see one of the ordinances or whatever, you put the public records request, would get those, so that was helpful to know that, and once reviewing that ordinance, there was nothing that we could say, so it's unfortunate that, you know, it doesn't look great where we're at, but there's a lot. So that came through. That's all I had.
Well, okay, that, there is a complaint form online. I know I'm gonna get a couple coming this week. I will keep it confidential when I go out. Because it's part of the job, unfortunately, but there is a complaint form online. And now that things are updated and there's penalties enforced, no, we have penalties. Please let that get in the minutes if there are penalties now, things are updated, like you said. And so if someone, if I have to visit someone, I will cover the ordinance that it has. I will copy. And we'll take it from there. The second thing is I was approached by the Village Club. It looks like they're in the last part of getting the fireworks for our 75th, which is great. They would like us to help them out, council, with paying for the rider. Mr. Leary has made it clear for insurance purposes, we must have a rider, even though it's for one evening, an insurance rider for safety. This would be the 7th. They asked us, I asked the mayor to look into the cost of having an insurance rider for that evening, and it's $836. I don't know how to go about this. It's when I say, when Mr. O'Leary, I'm going to pass over to him. I guess we'd have to put it to vote. I was told that we're almost there, and then I've heard other people say, oh, we're there. We're going to have it either way. So Village Club has approached me, and it's their 75th year. And so we could be the big bad wolf, or we could be heroes. I don't know what to say, but it's up to council. So I don't know if we take this.
So the only thing that I would suggest is that since we're talking about August,
Mhm.
and we're going to have at least one more meeting, 2 more meetings before then.
Okay,
If council wants to discuss whether they want to authorize the payment of the rider as the village's contribution towards that, you can do that. You could do that tonight, or you can wait and see if they raise enough funds not only for the fireworks, but to cover the rider and make up the difference. It's up to whatever council wants to do. But I don't think there's anything, it's not necessary to have the rider today, right?
no.
So
But
if we did it at the May meeting, or,
no,
we could do it at the May meeting
Right,
if need
right,
be. But
right. So
I
just
think they're asking for us to participate in, being that we really want this to be a special celebration. I think it's only reasonable to do that, but also let them continue with their contributions. So
And you're aware of it, right?
Yeah,
And
there's $1,100 in insurance premiums left if council so chooses.
and the life insurance at 836, right? There was something I'll mull over, but I've been warned that either way that they're in the home stretch. They want these fireworks, so.
We have whoever's in charge or someone from the Village Club when our next meeting, when we're gonna talk about it, come and.
Sure.
talk to us and
Yeah,
let
yeah,
us know
she-
where they're at in the planning
Sure,
process.
she-
That
yeah.
makes it a lot
Yeah,
easier.
she was gonna come tonight. She couldn't make it tonight, so I'll make a special reach out to her or who's ever second in charge, to, why this is so important. Well, it's, it's the 75th anniversary, it's important
Yeah,
either
no,
way.
I'm not disputing that, just to make sure that we don't approve it and possibly pay for it if they're not gonna do it, or
Mhm.
just to make sure that they're further along in the planning process.
Right.
Ready for the rider,
Right.
or ready for us to make action on it.
And the contract of it
well,
all.
and it's probably important, most people probably realize this, that they're, as I understand it, it's a reputable contractor that's going to do the fireworks. Is it the same one that does the ones at the Captain's,
I don't know. I just know that they're
Okay.
doing it.
you think?
I think it might be.
We can verify that, but it would be down on the beach. It would not be, like up here. So I mean, it's gonna be with as much safety as possible, and the fire department's been involved in the discussion, so.
Right, fire marshal. Yeah. So I'll ask them. for next
We,
time.
since we opted out of House Bill about fireworks, we have to pass something to allow it? No. Okay.
It was a good thought.
I'm all for some good fireworks.
Yeah.
Make sure we got everything in order.
Is that it? Okay, Dr. Sharma?
So I had attended the grant getting ready webinar that was on March 24th. I think some of our other members might be there. They didn't show the name of attendees. It was too large, I think. But such a wealth of information there, talked about funding opportunities and disclosed that there's unprecedented amount of grant funding. That got me extremely excited. I was gonna do something else on the side, but then I started taking notes and almost $810 million just for Ohio cities and villages. So we're really hoping to have our slice out of that.
Sure.
And yeah, they did talk about federal, state funding, and along with that, some expected upcoming fundings as well, and ways to get that. I just have a question. Is it possible to partner with them? Because they did share their information. I wasn't sure if they would ask us for some money or something, but I was wondering if we could connect to them.
With?
With Hicks, the ones that have facilitated it.
Oh, yeah.
Partners,
Well,
partner with them.
Okay,
I'll try to make connection. Yes.
awesome, perfect. Yeah, that's all beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, Kevin Thompson?
Yes, as far as trees go, nothing major, but a couple of weeks ago, someone complained to the chief that there was a large branch hanging from a tree in the median near the village hall. And rather than having a company come out, three companies come out and make bids, and just for the one branch, we decided to kind of make a half a day of it, 4 or 5 hours work, getting rid of loose ends and dangers that they see. So we did get our 3 bids. We decided on JK Tree Service, and they did a really good job. They came out, they cut down the tree, which wasn't part of the original agreement, but they were willing to do that for us. Plus took care of the danger, so they did a good job. And I also have their final invoice. So if it has not been paid, can I make a motion to get this taken care of so we can pay it?
Sure, we'll do it under approvals, purchase approvals.
Yeah, because it's already budgeted for.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So just give it to.
yeah, just
Mr.
go ahead and give it
Rasmussen.
to Mr. Rasmussen.
He'll add it to that.
But other than that, there's a couple more, there's endless issues with trees and roads, but there's a couple more that we have on our radar that will be probably getting checked out here soon.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rasmussen.
So in our general fund, the ending balance through March 31st is $265,896, and that accounts for committed and also encumbered expenses. Our month-to-date revenue for March was $156,635 versus expenditures of $47,470. That's a net difference for the month of $109,165. Now, most of that is we received our first half real estate settlement, which was $121,232 after tax collection fee costs, including our first half payment to the Lake County Health Department. And there were no other significant expenditures in our remaining funds. For hall rental deposits were refunded for the month. Revenue through March 31st is up 32,127 versus last year, and that's primarily due to increased income and property tax collection. Our estimated end of year surplus based on current expenditure rates will be approximately 25,000. This would not include transfers to the Village Hall and Police Cruiser Capital Fund of $20,000 each. So if council elects to do those, we would be looking at a deficit of about 15,000 for the year. That's all I have.
Police Chief report, Chief Schofield. No.
Want me to do that? I mean, okay.
Sure.
I'll try to. You won't know our abbreviation. Please talk. 911 calls were 2, accident was 1, administrative referral is 1, an animal complaint was 1, squad assists were 4, beach checks is 2, but it's also included in community policing, which is 32. Civil complaints is 2, house checks were 197, investigations 8, lockouts were 2, noise complaints 2, phone complaints 2, suspicious circumstances 1, suspicious vehicle 1, 3 traffic issues, and 1 trespass, for a total of 262 calls.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Okay, zoning and property maintenance. Gary, anything to report? Hey, Gary, can you go up there, the mic, please?
Sure, it's turned on.
We had 5 new driveways go in within the last month. That's really the only thing going on since the weather is broke. There's a lot of people calling and getting ready to do things, but they haven't taken out permits yet. That's all.
Okay, thank you. All right, Pete, did you have anything you want to talk about, grants or anything, update us or anything at all?
Yeah, we just submitted a grant.
Sorry, but we have to have our virtual audience.
So, the NOACA, who is the Northeast Ohio Area Wide Coordinating Agency, that's our local MPO, it's called. They're the ones that get the federal money and dish it out to the different villages and cities throughout Northeast Ohio. They put out a list a couple of weeks ago and sent it to the mayor and of all the road projects basically that are on what's called the TIP, the Transportation Improvement Program. And this list was for the future, was for like the range for between 2024 and 2027. And nothing was on there for Timberlake, which that's not good. So, and actually, after I sent it, I discovered this was for roads, but the heck with it. I said, hey, I wrote him a nice email saying, hey, I talked with the mayor and we're respectfully requesting that we add the Lakeshore Boulevard sidewalks on this list. And, I put an estimate of $350,000 current cost. And then, could you please give us the money, 80% of the money, basically is what the breakdown is, but and schedule it for 2024. So, we just roll the dice. We'll see what happens there. There's other funding opportunities out there that we're going to pursue for that. And for other things such as more catch basin and sewer repairs. So that's where we're at right now. Thank you.
Okay. Purchases and approvals. Do I have a motion to approve the March 2022 financial reports, please?
I make a motion.
Motion, do I have a second? Dr. Sharma seconds. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Thank you. And what is the name of that tree company? Invoice,
JK.
JK.
Right.
Tree service.
I have a motion to approve the invoice for JK. What is the amount, please?
$1,500.
For $1,500.
I make a motion?
Nate Samara makes a motion. Kevin Thompson seconds. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Morrow,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next move on to the public comment and questions. Any public comment or questions?
Just want to go over the rules again. If anybody comment?
Got 3 minutes,
Each.
please.
Go ahead.
No, we're gonna do 3 minutes. What was it? 3 minutes each.
3 minutes.
3 minutes, just 3 minutes per person.
Per person. Every person has 3 minutes.
Did
Just turn the mic on, please. Yeah.
My name is Debbie King. I live at 43 East Shore Boulevard. First of all, I have a couple questions. Number one, what are we doing about the vacant house on, it's not on Shawandasi. I think it's, you know how Shawandasi goes off to the left. There's that little road. It's a vacant house, been vacant for years.
What's the address? Do you have it?
I don't know. It's, you know how Shawandasi bends off to, the street bends to the left, but Shawandasi goes straight. No, that end. I'm sorry. Yeah, it goes over that way, yeah.
Well, if we can't. figure
Okay,
out
well,
which
if
it
you
is,
can't
let's
figure
tell
out
them
which
what-
it is, then
Okay.
that's, all right. Is that what it is? Okay. I was wondering, it's been vacant for years.
Okay.
I was wondering what we're doing about that.
Look at the auditors. Okay, go ahead.
That's it?
No, which is what,
For my next questions?
Yes,
Well, I think what we're, in order to maximize her 3 minutes, let's let her ask her questions and then we can address them
Oh.
after the fact.
Okay, that's good. For that $800, it was just a comment. For that $800, we're saving, somebody's saving up for the fireworks. If you put a note in the Timberlake Times, maybe you'll get people who don't go to the Village Club meeting to contribute then too.
okay. Yeah, I'll tell her.
Okay.
Okay.
And I was wondering, do we have any detectives on our department? Our police department? So who does our detective work? Okay. Oh, I'm just questioning because so everybody's able to, okay. Also, I've heard several people called me to complain, why me and not you? I don't know, but I guess the water department shut off the some people's water
When?
for twice in the, I guess it was about a month ago. 2 different times, about a week apart, I think they were. Just shut off the villagers' water in
Did
that
anybody-
area
Did anybody get any phone calls?
down by,
Okay, let's, it sounds like he can answer that question. Did you have other questions so that we can?
yep. Did we ever get a new air conditioning system for the village hall?
It's going out for rebid, isn't it?
If we're going out for rebid, where is that?
We just passed tonight to go out to rebid
For a new air conditioning system?
on the HVAC. Back in December, we approved going forward under the American Rescue Act to allocate funds for heating and air conditioning. We started with a contractor. That contractor didn't work out. They couldn't perform under the stipulations that we had. So we're back to square one. We're going out to bids,
Okay,
and then council will review those bids and approve them when they're available.
okay. And that's all I can, that's it for now. Thank you.
as far as the shut off, let's
Yes.
go to that question. Who was shut off? You know that?
Well,
Go ahead, Gary.
Water main breaks on Timberlake waiting in the last month, all right, where we shut off 3 times. They never notify anybody when they're shut off, they just shut it off.
And
because
is
of the
that
water main
right?
break?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they were pretty And I said, well, call the mayor. What can I do?
Yeah, call the water
So call-
department.
Well, they did call the water department after the first one.
They called me.
They called you. Yes, okay. Okay, well,
And I did go out and I verified that it was Lake County digging up the road and it was. open
Yeah.
water line.
do they have the right to do that though? I mean, one
they
person
have
was in the
to.
middle of a
It's an
shower.
emergency. When they have a repair, it's an emergency. They have no choice and they have to isolate that area, repair that valve. And then re-flush those lines out and turn everyone back on. I mean, there's no way around it. I was a contractor for years. There was really no easy way around it. And, unfortunately, as far as notifying, no, they don't. I mean, a lot of times they will go around, try to tell some people, but it doesn't always happen.
Because
You
it's
know.
emergency.
Right.
If it's planned work, they'll tell you. in
If it's
advance.
planned, yeah. If they're
But it's-
planning it, they will tell it. But if it's an emergency, they just shut it down, get the repair done as quick as they can. And pretty much it's usually
would
off
make
for
it an
about 4 to
emergency?
8 hours anyway.
Okay. I appreciate the conversation, but we're recording it. She had one more question that you were going to answer, and that's about the vacant property.
That was 5 Nokomis. It's been vacant for 2 years. There was contracts written on it, to purchase it, the bank would not let it go. Then, last year, winter, or the winter before, I can't remember. The water wasn't shut off in the house, so the pipes in the ceiling broke, flooded the house. And now, they hired someone to go in there and he stripped it of all the drywall, cleaned everything up, and now they're in the process of taking permits out, started renovating.
I know they're doing that to the house next door.
No, they're doing it there. They cleaned up all the drywall within the last 3 months. They just threw it all in their garage. They had a dumpster going down and get all of that. out. 5 Nokomis.
Okay, anyone else have questions or comments? Okay, do I have it is 7:27. Do I have a motion to adjourn, please? Dr. Sharma makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second the motion.
Ryan Conrad seconds. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Next regular meeting is Tuesday, May 7th, 2022 at 6:30 PM. Everyone have a great evening. Thank you.